All right, let's bring in the third member of our Bears Game Day Live crew, Cassie Carlson. She's a warrior. She is out in the rain right now for her Any Given Hyundai Bear Necessities segment. And Cassie, first of all, I can see the weather. Can you give us an idea of what the field conditions are like?
Yeah, well, I'm actually dry today. I can only handle one rain game a week, so we are undercover. But you can see the field behind me. They have just started taking off the tarp, but it has been pouring rain all morning. Ever since I arrived here at 7:30, that's when the field crew was actually trying to wipe the puddles off the tarp. And if you look into the end zone and on the sidelines, there are ponds of water. So this could definitely affect the game. These guys have to go out there and warm up. And as you mentioned, this rain is not supposed to stop until about noon. Luckily for the Bears, they do have experience now coming off that Monday night win playing in the rain, and Ben Johnson felt like his team was well prepared for that with the right equipment, and he feels strongly that they are going to be just as prepared going into this game today. We talked about the kicking game being a storyline with the wet weather conditions in Washington. Jake Moody is going to get his second chance and really first attempt at kicking in Soldier Field, so that is something to watch out for as they welcome in the Saints here this afternoon. Now, the Bears got back from that Monday night win in Washington around 3 a.m. on Tuesday, and by that afternoon, Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson had already met to put that game to bed and shift their focus onto this game here this afternoon. And this is another short week for the Bears. They already had one this season when they lost to the Vikings and then got blown out in that 31-point loss to Detroit. So that's why Ben Johnson said you can't focus on one game too long, and he feels like this game is going to be a big step and chance for growth in his team to show that they can move on in these short weeks. It's also a different situation for the Bears because they are favored for the first time this season, and that's what happens when you win 3 games in a row. But they are not going to overlook the 1-5 Saints that Ben Johnson said is desperate for their second win of the season, and they are constantly improving. Now, Caleb Williams said he feels like he's done a much better job this season moving on from both wins and losses, that whole 24-hour rule. He admitted it was an emotional win for him in Washington given the fact that it was his first time winning back in his hometown, but he also wanted to remind everyone there was a time last year where this team was 4-2 and they went on and lost 10 straight games, so there is no chance they are going to overlook any single opponent. There are also a ton of connections between these two teams. Dennis Allen, their defensive coordinator, spent 15 seasons in New Orleans, did not want to talk about his time with the Saints this week. Declan Doyle got his start in New Orleans when Sean Payton hired him at 22 years old, and there's even a connection between the two quarterbacks. Caleb Williams and Spencer Rattler were once on the same team at Oklahoma. Spencer Rattler was the starting quarterback, but during their Red River rivalry game between Texas, Caleb Williams was replaced for Rattler in the middle of the game, led a 21-point comeback, and then, of course, they both went on to transfer. So plenty of connections that you can get caught up in this game, but Ben Johnson said his team is focused on embracing the mission, which is to beat a really good Saints team coming to town here today.